What's up guys, it's Mabo here. Today I want to talk about the fashion/jewelry commercial I shot 2 weeks ago in Istanbul with this tiny 35mm lens from Sony. Let's go!
This is the story of a creator, one that is expressing his soul in every creative way possible, one that looks for meaning in the simplest things, one that is exploring the world in his very own kind of style, one that wakes up passionate and inspires others to do the same, one that is part of a community of like-minded individualists. Creators tell stories, but the stories are never about them. Creators express themselves. Why don't you?
So it all began with Rafael, a very talented photographer on Instagram, who wrote me that he really likes my work and that he's shooting a campaign for a jewelry company in Istanbul and that they're looking for someone who can film the launch video of their new campaign. So he recommended me to the founders of the jewelry company. We had a Zoom meeting, we were talking about the concept, and then the flights were booked. The founders and me, we arrived 1 day early in Istanbul to do some location scouting. We went with the taxi to the old town, checked for some places where we could shoot. We went over the big bridge in Istanbul where there are a lot of fishermen, and there's a really nice light in the evening, so we decided to shoot there as well. After that we went to the countryside of Istanbul looking for a location at the sea. In the end, the taxi driver was the best location scout. He knew what we were searching for, he knew a location, he brought us there. And yeah, then we arrived at the location. It was just perfect at the seaside with the old castle. Yeah, it was just perfect for the second day shooting location. So for the first shooting day, my setup was the A7S III with 35mm f1.8 in combination with the Tiffin Black Promise 1/4 and the Peter McKinnon variable ND. For the first day I wanted to have some stabilized shots with the Ronin so I can follow up the protagonist on his way through the city. And for the second day I went only handheld to have some variation between stable shots and little shaky shots. With the handheld look, I think you always get more vibe, you feel more like you're into the scene because it's more natural and not so stable like on rails, you know. So we started shooting at a really big mosque in Istanbul, took some detailed shots, took some shots with him running around, and then I shot the 2 female models after on the creator trip, and finally the other male model. Second part of the day was the indoor shoot. Most of the shoot was for the photographers so they could take some pictures of the models with the jewelry. I just took actually one shot. This is the ending shot of my film. I thought it's a really nice ending shot to have the group united, the 4 people, the 4 models united, and to zoom out with a stable shot with the Ronin S. And yeah, I think that turned out pretty cool as an end shot. Shooting day 2 began with the Gala Tower. We went up there in the morning to shoot the 2 male models. Also a really nice location with a nice view. And later we moved on to the location at the seaside and to meet with the guy with the pickup. So we arrived at the seaside with the cliffs, took some shots, and then the worst case scenario happened. The police came. They told us it's a restricted place, we cannot shoot here. So we had to improvise, and we went with the pickup to just another country road and filmed some stuff over there. I took a drone shot over there from the pickup and the models, 2 female models in the trunk. Yeah, but I think it turned out pretty cool. It was not as cool as the seaside location, but I think we made the best out of what we got. The last shooting location of shooting day 2 was the big bridge in Istanbul. We shot some group shots of the 4 creators on the creator trip, and some single shots of the models. And then we finished shooting and had a great meal with the crew. So for the editing part, let's jump right into the project file here in Final Cut Pro, and I play it for you once again.
This is the story of a creator, one that is expressing his soul in every creative way possible, one that looks for meaning in the simplest things, one that is exploring the world in his very own kind of style, one that wakes up passionate and inspires others to do the same, one that is part of a community of like-minded individualists. Creators tell stories, but the stories are never about them. Creators express themselves. Why don't you?
So in this edit I went with a really vintagey, grainy vibe, since the jewelry company PASM also have this really vintagey vibe. And I even used their overlays they are using on Instagram to match the look. And I added the PASM logo into it. Maybe you noticed. I used a lot of grain. I used two 35mm overlays of grain and a 60mm to get it really grainy. And actually my own LUTs were a pretty good fit. I desaturated some of these shots to make it even more moody, especially at the beginning. I decided to choose two different songs in this edit. One more moody and scenic song for the introduction of the protagonist, a little bit more mysterious. And at the second part, I used a more adventurous and more intense song to change the mood. At the beginning, to introduce the location, I edited some fast shots of scenery and some mood shots. Each time with the drone shots, the cat, seagulls, and then the introduction of the protagonist with a voiceover just on the beat.
Is the story of a creator.
There, the introduction of the ring, detailed shot of the ring, introduction of the first other creator couple.
Exploring the world in his very own kind of
on
style.
The pickup, detailed shot of the ring. And there we got the beat change at about 20 seconds from the mysterious introduction to the more powerful and uplifting second track. Creator gets out. The connecting shot from the protagonist to another creator.
Inspires others to do the same. One that is part of a community of like-minded individualists.
And right on the drop, I got a cut of a close-up of the model painting, showing off the ring. Maybe you noticed that I used the blueprint of the ring as a transition effect. On beat editing, 8mm overlay for the vintage 8mm film look.
Creators tell stories, but the stories are never about them.
And at the end I combined single shots of the creators
express themselves
up to the group shots where the creators are combined, symbolizing the community which is together now. And I also timed the second track right on the point where the community gets united, where the four creators get united, and the drops hits right on the point from single creators to the group. With the last establisher shot, as I told you, to announce that the shop is online now. Regarding sound design, I mostly used the sound design from Epidemic Sound. I used this camera sounds, also here the fishing rod sound, also seagulls and just some city vibes. So in the end, my conclusion about using only one lens for this shooting is that in 90 to 95% of the shots I didn't miss another lens. There were some cases where I could have used 85mm macro lens to shoot some detailed shots of the jewelry, or some ultra wide angle lenses, for example for the last indoor shot I took. But in most cases the 35mm, it's just a sweet spot between a wide angle and a portrait lens. So very versatile, very light, very sharp. I really love this lens, and I do not want to miss it in my camera bag. So guys, that's it for this video. I hope I could help you out. You learned something new. You can follow me on Instagram. I post some behind the scenes stuff over there. See you in the next one. Peace.